1.7 trillion naira by the end of December 2018.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing him of committing a gross offence.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor, Ibikule Amosu.
Welcome to Celebration Television News Desk. I am Sherry Quinsley Brima, and here are the news making the headlines. SSANU NASU begin strike today over IPPRS and others. Angola marks 60th anniversary amid protests. Myanmar coup crackdown tightened within the 10 arrest. Total pension assets rose to 12.3 trillion naira in 2020, says PENCOM. On sports, EPL, Tuchel breaks Mourinho's record as Chelsea beats Tottenham. Do stay with us. After we get back from this very short break, I'll be bringing you the news in detail. Don't go nowhere. You're welcome back. And now the news in full. SSANU NASU begin strike today over IPPRS and others. The Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities and the Non-Academic Staff Union will commence a strike today. The unions, in a statement by SSANU National President Muhammadu Ibrahim and NASU General Secretary Peters Adeyemi, said this. Recall that the unions had announced that they would embark on a nationwide strike by February 5, 2021 over the federal government's handling of the Integrated Personnel and Payroll Information System, sharing formula of the 40 billion naira and academic allowances and non-payment of arrears of the new minimum wage, amongst others. In a bid to stop the strike, the federal government met with the leadership of the unions, but the meeting ended in a deadlock on. The union said 5 of its demands have not been attended to by the federal government. The statement, which reads, in a view of the outcome of the meeting, the leadership of JAC and NASU and SSANU at the branches are hereby directed to commence joint general meetings on Friday to give reports on the outcome of the consultation meeting and the past resolutions on the way forward. In the meantime, the nationwide strike takes effect from today, midnight, February 5, 2021, pending any contrary resolution by the branches. And also moving forward, SAN faults IGP's 3 months tenure extension. The legal practitioner Ibn Olu Adegboru, SAN, faulted the extension of the tenure of the Inspector General of Police Muhammadu Adamu by 3 months, saying it cannot be done without the advice of the National Police Council. The Minister of Police Affairs Muhammadu Dinyadi says the President Muhammadu Buhari decided to extend Adamu's tenure as the IGP for 3 months to allow for a robust and efficient process of appointing a new IG. The minister disclosed this in an interview with State House correspondent at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. Recalled that Adamu's tenure ought to have expired on Monday when he attained 35 years in service. Adamu remained at his duty post since Monday, foiling speculations that his tenure could have been secretly extended. And in another development, PDP others oppose Burata ex-service chiefs as ambassadors. The President Muhammadu Buhari has nominated all the service chiefs who were changed last week as non-career ambassadors. The action drew the eye of a former Director General of the National Institute of International Affairs, Professor Bola Akinterinwa, and the People's Democratic Party. However, Akinterinwa said although Buhari had the right to nominate all the service chiefs as non-career ambassadors, there was no assurance that countries like the United States and the United Kingdom, who had accused the service chiefs of crimes against humanity, would accept the former service chiefs as diplomats. The special advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, had disclosed Buhari's action in a statement titled, "President Buhari nominates Olonisekin, Buratai Ibas, Abubakar Usman as non-career ambassadors. Additional said their names have been sent to the Senate for confirmation. The Senate reads President Muhammadu Buhari has forwarded the names of the immediate past service chiefs to the Senate as non-career ambassadors designate. Meanwhile, the Senate described as a welcome development the appointment of the immediate past service chiefs as non-career ambassadors. Reacting to the appointment of the former service chiefs, the Senate spokesperson Dr. Basiru Ajibola said it is a welcome development and the military generals deserve the honor and appointment as ambassadors by President Muhammadu Buhari. A news coming from around Africa, Angola marks 60th anniversary amid protests. Angola marked the 60th anniversary of the beginning of the armed struggle with official acts and demonstrations. In the Museum of Military History in the center of Luanda, the national flag was raised and the anthem sang. This was followed by the disposition of flowers on the monument of the unknown soldier in homage to all those who fought for their independence of Angola achieved 15 years ago. At the same time, elsewhere in the city, the National Police dispersed a demonstration with 100 participants in protest against the economic crisis and for political change. According to the authorities, the demonstration did not meet the legal requirements and the participants committed several acts of vandalism while the demonstrators claimed to have been surprised by the strong police apparatus. The demonstrators also wanted to express their support for the inhabitants of Kafunfo in the Diamond region of Luanda North, where on Saturday the police suppressed an action that they classified as separatist rebellion and which resulted in at least 6 deaths. Some non-governmental organizations denounced human rights violence. The government have ordered the opening of a judicial inquiry. A news still coming from around Africa. DRC pro-Kabila senators condemn President Tshisekedi's dictatorship. A group of pro-Joseph Kabila senators in the Democratic Republic of Congo denounced a perceived dictatorial shift in the country. Their indignation comes after President Felix Tshisekedi, who took office in January 2019, made a series of top-level changes in parliament where a majority of deputies have switched to his corner after a 2-year power struggle with pro-Kabila supporters. Shikez Demu, a spokesperson of senators with Kabila's Common Front for the Congo party, gave the following address. The Senate of the Democratic Republic of Congo is going through a critical moment in its existence as the third institution of the Republic. Therefore, we call on His Excellency the President of the Republic, the head of state, to stop this dictatorial shift, which is liable to plunge the country into institutional and social instability. And we call on the national, international opinion to bear witness. In December, Tshisekedi scrapped a Kabila ally-dominated coalition government, and last week he pushed out the camp's Prime Minister Sylvester Ilunga after winning over members of the National Assembly. Moves accused of being a barefaced installation of a monolithic dictatorship by Kabila supporters who are calling on the African Union to intervene. We'll go on a short break right now. When we get back from that break, it will be updates from Asia. Do stay with us.
Blessed be the name of the Lord. This is the day the Lord has made. We'll rejoice and be glad in it. My name is Dr. Lizzie Johnson Suleiman of Omega Fire Ministries, wife of Apostle Johnson Suleiman. God has made manifest with omnipotent passion His glory in Omega Fire Ministries worldwide. By His leading, we converge as joyful worshippers from every tribe, every tongue, people, and nation. This February, oh yes, this February, God through His choice servant is set to rain His glory in our lives. God is set to rain His glory in your life. Therefore, let us prepare and bring our affections in line with His. Oh yes, as we receive God's general, our Father in the Lord, Daddy E.A. Adeboye of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, for the 17th anniversary celebration. Oh, I'm so excited. Anniversary celebration of Omega Fire Ministries. It's Ebenezer 2021. And of course, my husband, God's choicest servant, Apostle Johnson Suleiman, the Restoration Apostle, will be ministering alongside myself. On the 14th, we are receiving our Father. You don't want to miss this for anything. At the International Worship Center of Omega Fire Ministries. Be there.
Ebenezer 2021.
Welcome back, and now it's updates from Asia. On Myanmar coup, crackdown tightened with Win Fein arrest. Myanmar's military is tightening its crackdown on the former civilian government with the arrest of senior leader from Aung San Suu Kyi's National League for Democracy (NLD) party. Ms. Suu Kyi and other leaders have been detained since the military launched its coup on Monday, plunging the Southeast Asian country into uncertainty. Their whereabouts remain unknown. The military overthrew Ms. Suu Kyi's government after it claimed a November election won by the NLD was fraudulent, though the country's election commission said there was no evidence to back up these allegations. The move has been met with global outrage. In his latest statement, United States President Joe Biden called on the military to relinquish power and release detained officials and activists. The United States had already threatened severe sanctions on Myanmar, which is also known as Burma. However, the military is seemingly determined to the disapproval, continuing down its path of consolidating power and appointing new ministers in the capital. And now more updates from Europe. Denmark may force churches to submit sermons to government. There is much concern, says pastor. A proposed Danish law that will require sermons to be translated and submitted to the government has sparked concerns among Christians throughout the region. The proposed legislation would require that all sermons may be delivered in the country's native language, translated in Danish, be submitted to the government, although it is not clear yet if the sermons must be submitted before or after they are delivered. The bill has the backing of Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen. Although the legislation is intended to control radical Muslim groups in the country, as more than 250,000 Muslims live in Denmark, it has drawn pushback from many Christians. Anglican Bishop Robert Innes of the European Diocese wrote a letter to Frederickson on January 27th expressing concern over the proposal impact of religious liberty. He said he believed it is an overly restrictive step that would constitute a limitation on freedom of expression, which he knows is prized in Denmark as one of the world's oldest democracies, he wrote. Innes also said he fears that other countries may copy the bill if it is adopted. That would be a very worrying development indeed. The proposal also has practical problems, the bishop said, arguing it is not feasible to translate a weekly sermon delivered extemporaneously. Evangelical Focus, a new website dedicated to Christian news on the continent, said German-speaking churches also are concerned. Catholic churches are also opposed the idea. And now on business, your total pension assets rose to 12.3 trillion naira in 2020, says PENCOM. Total pension assets under the contributory pension scheme rose by 2.1 trillion naira to 12.3 trillion naira as of the 2020 to 10.2 trillion naira as of the end of 2019. Latest statistics from the National Pension Commission, PENCOM, stated that 8.13 trillion naira of the funds was invested in the federal government of Nigeria bonds. According to the figures, 858.46 billion naira to 92.91 billion naira were invested in domestic and foreign ordinary shares respectively. It added that 1.68 trillion naira and 161.39 billion naira were also invested in local money market securities and mutual funds respectively. As part of efforts to boost services in the country, PENCOM opened the transfer window to enable workers in the contributory pension scheme to change their pension companies. PENCOM said RSA holders may transfer their accounts from one pension fund administrator to another once in a year, in line with Section 13 of the Pension Reform Act 2014. Prior to this launch, the Commission said it had successfully developed the RSA transfer application, a robust electronic platform that would enable seamless RSA transfers. In addition, it is said that the Commission had conducted extensive workshops for licensed pension operators and state pension bureaus in readiness for the event. And still on business again, Senate summons NDDC over 6.25 billion naira COVID-19 palliative sharing. The Senate Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Public Pensions issued a fresh summons on the management staff of the Niger Delta Development Commission. The top staff members are to appear before the Senate panel on February 22nd to explain how they allegedly spent 6.25 billion naira on COVID-19 palliatives last year. The Senate panel is acting on a petition which alleges that the management staff of the agency spent the money on palliative which they could not account for. The petition before the Senate panel claimed that the NDDC under the recently sacked Professor Daniel Pondai-led interim management committee spent 6.25 billion naira on palliative across the 9 oil-producing states. The chairman of the agency's COVID-19 Palliative Distribution Committee, Ambassador Sobomado Jack-Rich, who signed the petition, said no money was spent for such on purpose by the sacked RMC. In the petition, Jack-Rich said, as the chairman of the COVID-19 Palliative Distribution Committee of NDDC, I testified that 6.25 billion naira approved by Mr. President for palliative for the entire Niger Delta region through the NDDC cannot be accounted for as it is alleged embezzled by the then Professor Daniel Pondai-led RMC. We'll go on a short break right now. When we get back from this break, it will be news from the world of sports. Do stay with us.
I will be in Kebbi for Impact 2021. Kebbi State will witness the move of God like you've never seen before.
As I see you now, your pastor is planning to send you to Cameroon.
God is going to be moving mightily. There's going to be signs, wonders, and it's going to be impact.
And miracles everywhere.
For 18 years, this woman could not walk except with the aid.
Let her walk now. Walk now. Look at another crutches again inside the crowd.
God is going to be reaching out to us mightily, and there's going to be a great move of the Spirit of God.
Date 18th and 19th February 2021 by 8 a.m. and 3 p.m. daily. Generational Impact 2021 Apostle Johnson Suleiman, happening at Filin Sukua Horse Race Field, Benin Kebbi, Kebbi State, Nigeria. For inquiries, please call. Grace is available.
You're welcome back, and now it's news from the sporting world. On EPL, Tuchel breaks Mourinho's record as Chelsea beat Tottenham. Chelsea climbed into the Premier League top 6 as Thomas Tuchel earned the first major victory of his short time in charge of the Blues with a 1-0 win at Tottenham. This is as Thomas Tuchel is the first Chelsea's manager to keep a clean sheet in his first 3 PL games in charge since Jose Mourinho in August 2004. Jorginho's penalty midway through the first half was scant reward for Chelsea's dominance on other damaging night for sports boss Joe Mourinho against his former club. Since a 2-0 victory over Arsenal in early December took Tottenham top of the table, they have won just twice in their last 10 leagues game to not only see hopes of a first league title in 60 years disappear, but their chances of even making the top 4 rapidly recede. Spurs now sit 7 points off the Champions League places and behind Chelsea, who saw fit to make a managerial change last week after a drastic dip in form under Frank Lampard. Tottenham were again without the injured Harry Kane, but that still did not excuse a complete lack of attacking threat from Mourinho's men as they failed to score for the second consecutive game. In another sports news, Egbe backs Pinnick ahead of FIFA elections. The chief executive officer of Moni Michel's group, Ebi Egbe, has urged Nigerians to support Amaju Pinnick in his bid to become a member of the FIFA Council, saying it is in the best interest of the nation. Egbe said those trying to scuttle the ambition of the Nigerian Football Federation boss and FIFA were unpatriotic citizens. If Pinnick wins the FIFA Council election, Nigeria would be the biggest beneficiary because he will ensure the country's interest is protected. Egbe says they all know how important it is for any nation to have a strong say in an international body like FIFA. Pinnick has been cleared to run for passing the FIFA integrity test, so for anybody here at home not to support him amount to national sabotage. Before the recap of the news headlines, let's see the weekend fixtures.
This weekend, the world best leagues and footballers go on the run for the fight of who becomes the champions. Today, we'll be looking at the 4 major leagues of the world. These are the fixtures.
That has brought us to the end of the news today. Here is the recap of the headlines in case you missed the top stories. SSANU and ASU begin strike today over IPPIS and others. Angola marks 60th anniversary amid protests. Myanmar coup, crackdown tightened with Win Thin arrest. Total pension assets rose to 12.3 trillion naira in 2020, says PENCOM. On sports, EPL, Tuchel breaks Mourinho's record as Chelsea beat Tottenham. And now to the photo of the day. Can you see that? I'm speechless. What can you say about this photo? I would say, if you want to travel far in life, let go of excess baggage, because excess baggage is going to slow you down. You can share your thoughts with us about your photo of the day on our social media platforms. On Facebook, we are Celebration TV. On Instagram, My Celebration TV. On Twitter, we are at My Celebration TV. And on YouTube, we are Celebration TV. And always remember that your positive contribution to the wellness of the society you find yourself in or the organization you work in defines your leadership might. As an individual who knows what to do and do without expecting to be pushed has backed his way to success. Be it known today that everything we do, think, feel, or believe either has a positive or negative effect on humanity and our national well-being. Be a part of nation building today. I remain Sherry Queensley Barma, and thank you for staying tuned to our news desk. Goodbye.
To 15.7 trillion naira at the end of December 2018.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing him of committing a gross offence.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor, Ibikule Amosu.